to you from the Radford Studio Center lot in Studio City, right over the hill from Hollywood. This is the place where dreams are made, legends are born. Hello and welcome to The Lot. I'm Suzanne Marquez. Owen Wilson stars in a hilarious new role inspired by PBS painter Bob Ross. It's a twisted take on the beloved character in the dark comedy Paint.
Our goal's pretty simple. You get what's in here and just splash it onto there.
In Britt McAdams' new film Paint, Owen Wilson plays Carl Nargle, a Bob Ross-inspired painter stuck in his glory days. He has the look, even the same soft-spoken voice when he's in a fit of rage, when he's threatened by the talents of an up-and-coming painter who becomes his nemesis.
Carl is one-dimensional and very sexist. You know I don't care what people say about me.
I loved it how likable you made our character, very Bob Ross-like, but also gave me that Devil Wears Prada vibe where he's so quiet. There's that sinister quality too.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I know that made me laugh when I first read the script, that he talks in a very kind of soothing way. And even when he's angry, as happens in a couple scenes where somebody says, "Are you shouting at me?" And he's still talking in that same kind of way, but it's, it does show that you don't have to necessarily raise the decibel level. It can come across as a shout.
He is, an American icon in film, but he's also someone who's a really nice, good guy who's also, is a thinker. He's a triple threat where he's a great actor, a great guy, and also a smart person, which is really, really rare and great.
Filming the movie was also a full circle moment for Owen Wilson. His father worked at a PBS station when Owen was a child. I loved learning about your dad's connection with PBS. PBS has my whole heart. What a wonderful, first of all, to have that connection, but also I'm sure it influenced you.
Yeah, it had a big influence on me because, when I was a kid, my dad worked at the PBS station. So if we were going to go see him at work, that's where we went. And it was exciting kind of seeing, cameras and, the kind of hustle and bustle that, even a PBS station has. And later then when my dad kind of left and went into advertising, I was really crushed because I loved visiting the TV station. And that I remember when he moved into kind of his new office that was kind of, this part of Dallas where they're kind of houses turned into offices. I was like, this isn't an office, it's a house. And so I loved going to Channel 13 there in Dallas, and it was nice to kind of step into that world with this movie of a public television station in Vermont.
PBS Burlington.
Carl stole my newspaper.
Yes, we're aware that Carl is stealing newspapers. Please hold.
It's a really fun ride with great reviews, by the way. A Hamilton star is torn between two great men in an epic love triangle in the new streaming movie One True Loves. Phillipa Soo and Luke Bracey are Emma and Jesse, living their perfect life together until Jesse disappears in a tragic helicopter crash on their first wedding anniversary. Emma eventually finds love again when she meets Sam, played by Simu Liu. But right before the wedding, her lost love miraculously resurfaces, and Emma is torn between two great loves.
Usually women have a hard time finding one good guy. It's nice to be dealing with two great ones.
It couldn't be better. It was amazing. Not only to have these wonderful characters to play off of, but just two fabulous co-stars who were fantastic to work with and super playful and fun on set and always game. It was a joy.
This is Phillipa Soo's first lead film role, but she's no stranger to audiences. She won 2 Grammys for originating the role of Eliza Hamilton in the Lin-Manuel Miranda musical Hamilton on Broadway.
Phillipa, congratulations. I I've seen you in Hamilton, but this is the first time I'm interviewing you. And I'm so happy to see you on the big screen. How does it feel with this role?
It feels amazing. I'm so grateful to have had that experience and to feel proud of the thing that we made. I mean, it's the coolest job ever.
The story is the worst kind of love triangle. Emma thinks her husband is dead, and when she finally believes in love again, she's forced to make an impossible choice. Luke Bracey says it's an exploration of life and how we can grow together or apart.
And these are all questions that actually people deal with having distance and time between people.
I think it's the idea of growth, right? And trying to grow with someone, and I think that's where kind of love is really solidified, right? It's the experiences you have together, the life that you live together. And so sometimes you can have that at one point, but then if you have to kind of, if you're in this situation where you're separated for a while and you kind of living life together but separate, it can make it a little bit hard, because I think love and life is meant to be with other people and be that romantic love or family or friends. It's nice if you can come back and find the core things that made that relationship kind of strong at the beginning.
You're playing these characters who have to make impossible decisions or are faced with an impossible decision. And at the end of the day, through all of that, there is love, there's humor, there's an ability to see things from multiple sides and also lean on your loved ones to help you make that decision.
And the Mario Brothers continue to smash the competition at the box office. Beau is Afraid has a strong opening. And your first look at the Miracle Club. Here's David Daniel.
Behold, the King of the Koopas!
More records for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Less than 2 weeks into its run, it's made $678 million worldwide, easily topping Warcraft and Pokemon Detective Pikachu as the top-grossing video game adaptation ever. It's also the highest-grossing movie this year, both domestically and globally.
I'm on my way. It's not safe, is it?
A good start for Beau is Afraid. Filmmaker Ari Aster's latest movie, starring Joaquin Phoenix as an anxious man on a bizarre journey, opened in 4 theaters and grossed more than $320,000. That's more than $80,000 per screen, the best per theater average of any film so far this year.
Welcome to Lourdes.
We're ready.
I'm not.
Here's your first look at The Miracle Club, starring Laura Linney, Maggie Smith, and Kathy Bates as Irish women who win a trip to the healing French town of Lourdes.
You don't come to Lourdes for a miracle, Eileen. You come for the strength to go on when there is no miracle.
Well, there's always hope.
The Miracle Club arrives in theaters this summer. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Can't wait to see that one. 3 great actors there. When we come back, fresh off Cocaine Bear, Gary Russell stars in a sexy political thriller.
Something very funny is coolly followed by something that is not.
Lovers of political dramas, listen up. The West Wing meets the Americans and Mission Impossible in a smart, sexy political thriller, The Diplomat, on Netflix now.
Ambassador Catherine Weiler, Prime Minister Nicole Trowbridge.
Welcome.
Gary Russell is the diplomat, with Rufus Sewell as the spouse unaccustomed to the back seat.
My husband was an ambassador for a long time. This will be an adjustment.
Married Diplomats was the genesis for show creator Deborah Kahn.
You're overseas at some foreign location. You're saving the world together. There are a lot of tandem couples in the Foreign Service.
Here to help.
You don't work for the U.S. government.
This is new to me. Both of you at the same time. I could use less of it.
The scripts brought in the stars.
It was impossible to say no. They were so fun. They were so acerbic. They had like everything that you would want out of a show.
Something very funny is coolly followed by something that is not. There's something very deft in the transitions that lets you know what the tone is.
I think this is kind of one of those unicorn jobs, you know, where like the writing is fantastic, the people are talented and kind.
And Khan and the co-stars quickly formed a Russell fan club.
She has an incredible ability to play intense drama, power, depth of emotion, vulnerability, and nuance, and also is a total goofball.
And it just sort of draws in the best from everyone around her.
She can look at like 5,000 lines and go, oh God, I don't think I can do this. Cut. And you're like, girl.
He is way over the line.
If the house is on fire, you gotta tell me.
The house is on fire.
All right, let's keep this political party going. From the producers of Veep and Succession, White House Plumbers is coming to HBO May 1st. It tells the story of how Nixon's own team accidentally toppled the presidency they were trying to protect, starring Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux.
I want you to meet Gordon Liddy, toughest guy I know. He'll hold his hand in the flame of a candle.
I do not bend, and I do not break. What's the trick?
There isn't one. Gets third-degree burns every time.
Please stop.
You now work for the committee to re-elect the president. Your new mission is to make sure he wins this election.
We'll intercept confidential information of the radical left.
What's the plan?
We're going to hit the DNC at the Watergate.
Howard, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
These are the wrong tools.
What?
He has the wrong tools. This time, we walk straight in the front door. It's a double-sided deadbolt. Somebody needs to clean this mess up. You want us to break in a fourth time? Wait, what do you mean a fourth time? Nothing. Spy talk.
How does it work?
There's a chance I'll be going to prison.
Wait, what?
I really hope you understand the scope and scale of this thing.
You tell those spineless, two-faced politicians loyalty is a two-way street.
We're not a bunch of fools.
Why are you shredding money?
We're patriots acting in the country's best interest.
What about the best interest of your family?
They are trying to break us.
Howard! What have you done?
President is a good man. Between you and me, I worry about some of the people with whom he surrounds himself.
I can't wait for that one. All right, Paramount Plus just revealed a sneak peek at a highly anticipated second season of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
In the mystery and vastness of space, we come together. So many crew members from so many planets, everyone on their own journey.
Ready for some fancy flying, Erica?
Oh, you know I've got this.
I'm thinking it's a sign that the freckles in our eyes are mirror images.
Meet James Kirk. You have an energy. What? It's making me sweat.
I used to think of myself as always alone. Not on this ship.
Through great wonders and great danger. The next great age of exploration starts with us.
You gonna say your thing? Everyone in the chair has their thing.
Never seen a revolving door before.
I'm from space.
I love the interaction on Earth. Okay, when we come back, Megan Thee Stallion speaks out for the first, and she says final time about the most traumatic event of her life. Welcome back. We are getting an intense look at the snowplow accident that severely injured actor Jeremy Renner back in January. Body cam footage shows the moments after the horrifying accident where Renner heroically risked his life to save his nephew.
That truck was stuck in the driveway. They were using this to get the truck out of the driveway.
It's wild to see the footage. Renner's nephew's truck was stuck, and it was the snowcat that helped free it. The nephew, wearing the black camouflage jacket, explains to deputies on this body camera footage how Renner ended up underneath it and how the snowcat kept moving after it crushed him. You can also see where emergency crews worked on Renner and just how far away the big machine is.
He went up and then turned around, got out to tell me something, and then that's when it started coming at me like full force. That's when he tried to jump back in there. Okay. He slipped because these tracks, there's no way to stand on it.
He tried to jump on it?
He tried to jump on it into the thing, and it took him under.
It's wild footage, isn't it? It's a miracle he survived. Emergency crews stabilized Renner and he was flown to the hospital in Reno, Nevada. He returned home after spending 2 weeks in the hospital, and he was back in Reno about a week ago, where he thanked those first responders. In a newly released essay in Elle magazine, Megan Thee Stallion writes about being shot by rapper Tory Lanez. She says this is the one and only time she'll talk about it because it's so upsetting. Tory Lanez was recently convicted on 3 counts of shooting her after an argument 3 years ago. Megan Thee Stallion detailed her healing journey and wrote that she now understands why women don't come forward, saying they are accused of lying to make money and made fun of by people who claim to be their friends, and that the overwhelming doubt and criticism can drown out the support for those who speak up. She wrote, "For anyone who has survived violence, please know your feelings are valid. You matter. You are not at fault. You are important. You are loved. You are not defined by your trauma." She also added she is in a happier place and working on new music. We love to hear that. Such a great song. And the Foo Fighters have a new album coming out this June. It's their first since the sudden death of drummer Taylor Hawkins in March of last year. The album is titled But Here We Are. The first single, Rescued, is out now. There's no word on who is drumming on this new album, and the band is currently auditioning drummers for their upcoming tour.
Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you.
All right, this is a hit in my house. Me and my son love to sing this song. Bowser's love song to Princess Peach in the new Super Mario Bros. Movie has landed on the Billboard Hot 100. Peaches made its debut at number 83. It also marks the very first song in Jack Black's solo career to land on the list. His last song to make it was The Pick of Destiny, which debuted at 78 with his rock band Tenacious D. By the way, he is currently on tour with Tenacious D. And could we hear Peaches at the Oscars? Oh yes, it is eligible for Oscar for Best Original Song.
All these years, I found a new body.
Wait, a repulsor? No, it can't be.
Doesn't this take you back? 30 years later, the Power Rangers have a new show on Netflix, streaming now. And it's a nod to the original, with original cast members in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. The original ran from 1993 to 96 and was known to be campy. Rest assured, there was no attempt to modernize it. It's being praised as a genuine, earnest, and ridiculous hour-long kids show that captures the essence of what made Power Rangers so popular. 2 unlikely castmates will star in the new movie Boneyard. Mel Gibson and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson just started filming the indie crime thriller in Las Vegas. It's inspired by true events. Mel Gibson plays an FBI special agent who teams up with the Albuquerque Police Department to hunt for a serial killer named the Bone Collector. 50 Cent plays the chief of police who believes someone in his own department could be the killer. Speaking of dynamic duos, White House Plumbers star Justin Theroux says he's now in a bromance with co-star Woody Harrelson, but he does face some stiff competition from his OG bro, Matthew McConaughey.
But the bromance between Woody and Matt could go deeper than bromance. They could actually be real-life brothers. Oh, yes. Woody has even told Matthew to take a DNA test because they recently uncovered family secrets that mean it could be possible. Talk about scandalous. Now, there's no word yet on if they'll actually get tested or if they're just happy to stay bros as they are. You want to know who is related? SNL alum Bill Hader found out he is related to Hollywood royalty. He says Carol Burnett emailed to tell him they're cousins. Can you imagine that phone call? Their unlikely family history was uncovered by PBS's Finding Your Roots. I'd hazard a guess that a great sense of humor runs in their family because both are so talented and hilarious. If you're a fan of HBO's smash hit The Last of Us, the show's creator says the series will stick around for a while because there is quite a story to tell. EP and co-creator Craig Mazin told the National Association of Broadcasters they're writing the second season of the show, but didn't give any teasers away. Shooting is expected to start at the end of this year, and expect that new season next year. And it's the end of an era for James Corden. He's preparing to say goodbye to The Late Late Show. Harry Styles and Will Ferrell will be his final guests, and Diddy will appear in a new Carpool Karaoke. There will also be one final Crosswalk the Musical performance. The last Late Late Show with James Corden will air April 27th on CBS. It's also the end of an era on Broadway as the record-breaking musical Phantom of the Opera wrapped up in New York City.
It's just amazing, really, what has happened. I mean, in the last few months, I don't think any of us thought that the Phantom would go out quite with the bang it has. And so maybe it may come back, you never know.
Of course, that was Andrew Lloyd Webber dedicating the final Broadway performance to his son Nick, who died of cancer last month. Producers ended the show's run because ticket sales dropped following the pandemic lockdown. Since debuting in 1988, the show has been seen by more than 20 million people, including me and that famous chandelier. Who can forget it? It's grossed more than $1.4 billion. Speaking of money, Dawson's Creek actor Joshua Jackson is opening up about what it was like to rise to fame and make a whole lot of money in his early 20s. Don't we wish we could all? Jackson became known for playing teen heartthrob Pacey in the early 2000s drama. And in a new interview with the Times of London, the veteran actor said making more money than his friend's parents gave him imposter syndrome, especially because he was making more from a few episodes than they were in an entire year. It was a hit show. He told the interviewer he felt he didn't deserve the money at the time and felt like a fraud, but says he has now overcome that feeling now that he's in his 40s and more grounded in his career and personal life, and he does have a family to raise. That's a wrap for this show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Suzanne Marquez. I'm going to walk off the set. See you again next week on The Lot.